Hey, what's up guys? Dustin here. So season 28 has just finished. I finished in G3, rank 151 with a 53.7% win rate. Pretty bad win rate, to be honest. That's like the worst I've ever done. But G3 is G3, right? So not too bad. But anyways, I think today what I wanted to do was go through all of my runes and artifacts on my main comp. So let's get started. So first up we have Zerath, of course, running Rage Will. For artifacts, you just want to stack as much skill 3 crit damage as you can. This artifact isn't really that great. It's actually a fake legend. 2 rolls into crit damage is more HP max, and then first attack crit damage and skill 3 crit damage. And left side, again, a fake legend unfortunately, but it's triple damage dealt on wind rolls, damage dealt on water and fire, so pretty good, but still looking for like a something like this, but then have like a crit damage as more enemy HP max in this 4th slot. So yep, still looking for upgrades for him, but yeah, pretty good. Charlotte, I ran Swift Will basically the entire season at about 320 speed, or exactly at 320 speed. High AC, high attack, decent HP, kind of low on defense though. For artifacts, it's just full additionals. It's like a decent hero, and then I recently got this one, so it's a pretty nice upgrade. But yeah, it's missing the defense, but still pretty good. So that's Charlotte. Jamay, which is another core pick. Probably picked him like more than half the matches. It was always like Zerath, Charlotte, Jamay as my opener usually. So 320 again. He moves right in front of Charlotte, so it can counter Ethnas and Sekhmets. Really tanky. You don't want him to get. I mean, when you're running him this tanky and you run minus wind, he doesn't get stunned by Ethnas usually. So yeah, he's 320, 40k HP, 1400 defense, bit of attack, low crit, decent amount of accuracy, and just go additionals with skill 2 hack. Again, minus wind for Ethnas and Sonia's. I think this could even tank a Sonia hit, which is pretty nice. Last season I actually had him on Swift Revenge. You know, doing something like that was nice against stuff like Tiana, for example, but I had to put him on Will because of Ren. There are a lot of people picking Rens with like Ethna, Wunsa, and the Ren kind of just shuts down the counterpick, so Will for now. Moving on. This is my trap Chiyu I've been running for the past like 2 or 3 seasons. It's double Nem Will. This is really good for stuff like if an Ethna shatters, more skill 2, Wunsas, Laura's, anything like that is gonna proc the Nemesis, and then you know he's gonna cut in, strip all the buffs, push everything back and glance them, and it sets up for a Charlotte skill 3, do a bunch of damage, and then Zerath can follow that up usually. So yeah, 277 crit damage, kind of low on crit rate, decent amount of back, decent amount of attack. Really squishy though, yeah. And then artifacts, skill 3 crit damage stuff, and like crit damage as more HP. So yeah, I'd say these 4 up here I picked probably the most throughout the season. And then next up we got Samath. I ran at Rage Will the entire season. I don't do Despair. You know, I'm not running. I usually don't run like double strippers or anything like that, so I thought Rage is gonna be better since I'm cleaving for the most part. Just want to get in as much damage, and if they don't have like resets or anything, then you know the skill 3, they're gonna have to deal with the skill 3 damage. So usually if you pick it in the correct spot, it's he's gonna be pretty rough to deal with. No healers or resets. It's really good. So Rage Will, just stack crit damage stuff for the passive. Skill 2 act and then flat attack proportional to lost HP. So when he comes back, he's low HP and he's gonna do a bit more damage. Damage dealt on dark and fire. I think a lot of the games I picked Samath in was like Wounsa, you know, Maximilian, a lot of LD stuff. So, and you know, a lot of those games I didn't even feel like I needed to contest turn 1. I would just go like Samath and then full anti-cleave like Alexandra, Windog, and just let them kill everything. And then come back and reverse cleave them. So yeah, damage dealt on dark and damage dealt on fire is pretty good. And it just needs to move in front of Zerath, of course. Yeah, it's Samath. Cookie used a lot this season. I mean, he is the there's no debating it. He's the second fastest unit in the game. The first fastest being Leo. So I ran it at this is my best Swift set. So plus 220. His base I think is 140. So overall he's like, I think this should be 360 speed. So basically it helps me to contest against like Ethna's, Segments, even I can even outspeed a lot of Wunsas, really fast stuff. And what's really cool about this, if you run it this fast, you can even outspeed like 33 speed lead, 330 swift sets on like low base speed units. So like imagine a Vanessa and then a Swift Moore or something that's, you know, maybe a little bit below 330. You can outspeed that without a speed lead, I believe, so, which is pretty insane. So Ginger Brave did pretty well this season. The only issue I think in the draft is when you're stacking this much wind, you're gonna have to deal with like a Douglas in the last pick, so that was the only thing. But overall, yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep using the Ginger Brave for sure. Highly underrated unit, I think. Yanhong. Honestly, didn't pick Yanhong that much this season. She's mainly just there for the combo with Jamay and Yanhong, where you can like double boost a damage dealer and get 2 skill 3s out of them. And for that to work, you have to run it just like 1 speed above the Jamay. So Jamay's 320, so Yanhong's 321. And she's swift crit damage build, additional skill 2 crit damage, crit damage, more additionals. Yeah, I really like this set because all of these runes here are like innates. Pretty efficient stuff. But yeah, anyways, that's Yanhong. Shizuka, yeah, Shizuka's pretty impactful this season because of how many people were picking Sonia's. And I realized early on in the season you definitely want to run high defense so Sonia can't snipe her out. So I ran it defense HP. Halfway through the season I actually swapped her to an HP slot 6 because before she was speed defense resistance, and she's pretty squishy if you do that. And I just decided I was okay with dropping like 20 speed to get more HP. And while keeping the high res, so she's speed, defense, HP, but all of these, like this one has 20 res, this one's got 20 res and 15 res, so yeah, really good against single target snipe comps. Also, if your opponent's not like picking a dedicated stripper, you know, like an AoE stripper, she's really good. So for artifacts, I did both defense, skill 3 acts with additionals. This one I didn't really like. It's minus wind, minus dark. It's like okay. I'd prefer like a triple into wind or something though. Just so like Ethna's, you know, a lot of time Ethna's will go for the stun on her, but if you're going high res and then minus wind, it's pretty unlikely to happen. Excuse me. All right, moving on. Matado. Matado was a really good, strong last pick usually into like more fire stuff. I ran it Vamp Endure. Try and get max res, 0 AC unfortunately, but yeah, these stats are pretty decent. The only thing though is there's a lot of drafts where I'll have like Charlotte, Minato, Zerath, and because it's so slow, he doesn't move in front of Zerath, which means I can't set up an armor break, which is something I might change. Maybe go slot 2 speed on this, but like these 2 Endure runes are just they're pretty nice, so I don't know, I might leave it like this for now. But yeah, max crit rate, high res, just crit damage artifacts really. You could also just do like counterattack damage artifacts, that should be pretty good as well. Damage dealt on fire, yeah, obviously. Bellinus. Despair will. Max crit rate, high AC. And again, just needs to move in front of his wrath. And we have additional damage by attack. Should be the best artifact because when he transforms, he should increase his attack power, I thought. Yeah, increases attack power by 100%. So for sure, go additional damage by attack. And the others are pretty good too. Skills react. So we're at like 71 AC. Yeah, that's pretty good. And more additionals here. Leo, Vio, AC. I mean, I just happen to have these like fat accuracy runes. And I wanted to make sure he had a decent amount of accuracy because stuff like Yanhong, if you pick a Leo into a Yanhong, a lot of the times they're just gonna go res lead, and it can be pretty annoying if you if she reses the pushback and then it's like, why did you pick the Leo? So just to make sure, you know, I don't have to deal with high res off will stuff too often. I want to make sure he's got a decent amount of accuracy. Of course, this also boosts the entire team's AC, so it's pretty good. But I would probably prefer like a much higher attack Leo than this. I'm running attack, crit damage, HP with this one. This is a pretty good rune, so yeah, it's an okay Leo, I would say. And then just like crit damage artifacts. Douglas, Vamp, Nem. I mean, just go high attack, crit damage artifacts, counterattack damage is also good. This one, I got this like midway through the season. I figure I might as well just throw it on Douglas. Minus wind is okay for, obviously you're picking into Wind of Fire, so this is all very synergistic. The minus wind does help, I would say, against Ethnas. Sometimes Ethnas will just go for a capture on Douglas just to get that damage in, so this can kind of help him survive a bit. But yeah, 16 crit damage, counterattack damage, and then a minus wind. It's pretty nice, but I did drop some attack power to put this one on. But yeah, Douglas is always really good. Juno, Despair Revenge. This is my best Despair set, I think. And she probably has like my best artifacts, to be honest. Like, I got really lucky on these ones. 4 lines, legend. And then another 4 lines, legend. She can hit like, I've seen like 2,700 additionals with speed buff sometimes. It's pretty cool. But the thing is, I feel like I got baited into picking Juno into a lot of matches where it was gonna be like 1v4 and she just kind of dies at the end of the match because you know, Juno usually cannot solo 4 units, even if it's like a good pick. So I've been learning that the hard way this past season, so I have to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, she's still a very good unit. keeps a lot of the LD comps in check sometimes. Meowang, Vio, Nem. Just a high crit rate, crit damage. Crit damage, skill 2 back. Minus fire. I think minus fire is probably pretty good in case people are going like firecast into you. You might be able to actually like tank a hit from that. Yeah, let's go on to Rakuni. Rakuni I ruined up like midway through the season because of the light Aver bird healed. So it's kind of a counterpick for that. So what ends up happening is like in a Zerath Charlotte comp, for example, the Aver will always usually go for Charlotte, push it back and stun it. But as long as your Rakuni's moving second, you can just cleanse the Charlotte and then boost it up, and then you still have your combo. So that's what I used Rakuni for. Stats are pretty bad though, and it's not even high res, so didn't pick it too often. Yeah, like a pretty good artifacts on him too. Quad skill 3 recovery, and then yeah, minus light because I was picking into light Ivor and like Laura's and stuff like that. All right, Ragdoll. I was trying to figure out how to use this entire season. It's still, I know, it's like when you play against a Ragdoll, it's like the most annoying unit you could play against, at least one of them. But when you have one and you try and use it, you start to see like how many things actually counter him. Like single target snipes, Robos. I would say like more, like a low crit rate more into Robos, but mainly the Robos I'd say did really good into Ragdoll, so I had a hard time using this actually, but excuse me, Vile Will, max crit rate, high attack power, and of course crit damage, artifacts, and plus win. I figure I'd probably pick this the most and do like more Ethna CP kind of stuff, right? A bunch of AoEs to proc the passive, so. And a minus fire I thought was good into firecast. You might actually be able to tank a hit. We're just gonna glaze over these ones. Gapsu I didn't really pick at all this season. I'm just messing around with it, to be honest. So CP I ruined up like towards the end of the season. Just to have it ruined up, it's pretty good. Just to spare additionals. Didn't use it too much. Same with Triple Revenge Verd. I just ruined this up again towards the end of the season. But it's a like HP, crit rate HP build. I think I just did crit damage stuff and then minus fire and water. Vero, triple Nem. This is really good into like Sekhmet, Sauger, Nephthys, you know, LD kind of stuff. So I went skill 3 recovery, skill 2 hack, minus dark for like Neph, Han, Maxi, stuff like that. And high res. I don't know why I have high res. I guess high res could be good so you don't get stunned by like a Han skill 2 or something, I guess. Maybe that was the idea behind that. Vanessa I did pick quite a bit actually. She should probably be up here somewhere in the list. But I ran a Despair mainly so I just felt like if you want to put a Vanessa on crit like a damage build, you have to really slow her down so you can get the crit rate. And then of course you also have to have good accuracy and all these other stats. So it's really hard to ruin one. And I just felt like it's too slow to do that. So your other options are like a support Vio build, but like if you do that, how impactful is a Vio proc from a support Vanessa? It's not really that great. So I just decided Despair would be better. And this kind of helps against like Leica matches. Gives you another Despair or you know, a chance to stun this. So like a lot of matches I would just leave Leica in if I had Charlotte, Jamay, you know, Cookie, Vanessa or something, all of these could potentially just stun this. And, you know, it doesn't always happen. It's Leica's kind of it's definitely a scary counter pick into me, but gave me the chance to just win. So yeah, Despair Will. Weird. It's not a great Despair set, to be honest. I really need to upgrade this, but high res, max ac. Additionals with accuracy and minus fire for Cassandra. Sagar, these runes changed a lot throughout the season. I kept like swapping, you know, like this set onto him and that set went to someone else, but I did use him quite a bit. He was a bit better than this, like maybe 270s, but yeah, Vile Will, accuracy, minus fire. Really good and do like a Belios. Just annoying stuff you want to reset Shizuka. Yeah, Draco, Swift Will. I know it's not that fast. That's because I don't core pick it. It was really just used for like Ragdoll comps. So I would open Zerath first pick and do a Bruiser, and you do like Vanessa Draco. Right, and then you can sort of go into an attack bar cleave, as I like to call it. So if they're running a Ragdoll, you do Vanessa Draco Zerath, and then you can do like a light Robo. Right, so you're getting this plus this is 80 bar, and the Ragdoll team only gets 40 bar. So your last damage dealer will go. They won't cut in. Yeah, Swift Will, over 300 speed, and then I just did additionals, I think, yeah. Here's my first Lucian. Rage Will. Skill 3 crit damage. Damage dealt on water. This is for Abellio. A lot of like Abellio, I think anyway, the theory is that a lot of Abellios don't have a ton of HP, right? They want to go defense. Yeah, like mine is only like 27. So yeah, I mean, without attack buff, I think I was doing 9k per card on water if they didn't run any minus wind, so potentially you could just kill the Abellio and then you won't have to worry about that. So that was Lucian. It needs to be moving in front of his Wrath, so this is the best set I could have at this speed. Molong, this changed a lot. Before the skill 2 nerf, he was like Energy Will with some additional, you know, like a skill 2 build. But it's pretty bad now, so this is just like a leftover Vio set. But it's got damage dealt on these 3 elements, good for the Bruiser comps. But a really cool combo with Zerath and Molong is to just Reckless Assault you know, like a water unit, drop it to almost 1 HP, and then Zerath will, you know, use skill 3 and it rebalances everything, and you can sort of set up like an AoE, big AoE cleave and almost wipe the team with that. Usually it doesn't always work that way because you're picking Molong into Bruiser comps and they usually run HP leads and annoying stuff, but there's some cool synergies that you can do with him. Sonia, close to 320 speed, skill 2 crit damage stuff, damage dealt on light. I picked her for Tian Langs for the most part. So, you know, TL was picked a lot into Charlotte for me, so Sonia was my way to deal with it. So she moves in front of Charlotte, you snipe the TL out, and then Charlotte can go and you get the full boost. So yeah. Shan didn't really pick too much. He was mainly used for the Bruiser comps, which is kind of weird to say because it's a speed scaling unit. It's and I ruined it on Swift, not Vio. But you can do some fun stuff like Zerath, Vanessa Draco Shan, and then you pretty much always have a kill onto something. It's either like armor break and then skill 2 snipes that out, or they're giving you like a full team stun control kind of thing. So and before I was picking Shan a lot into Kinkies, but Kinkies kind of non-existent nowadays. But yeah, skill 3 ac, and then damage dealt on fire, more crit damage stuff. Gemini, Despair Will, low crit rate for Ragdolls, high attack power, just more damage, break shields. Additionals on artifacts. Yeah, I picked Draco. I did like Draco, or sorry, Gemini Draco Water Robo and do Abelios, because if you strip Abelio and then you have the Robo move, it kind of counters this passive a bit, because he boosts himself 100 bar, but Robo, you boost yourself 50 bar and then you reduce their bar by 50, so it actually kind of cancels that out, and it makes it so he doesn't cut in. And then Fenan, I was messing around with this kind of late season, just like a Vamp Revenge high res set. It did okay. I honestly don't really have the best runes to give him. Artifacts are okay, just additional damage by defense. And this one's kind of weird, but it does work because you're picking into water and wind stuff, right? So kind of low defense additional, but everything else is kind of makes up for it. Cardinal, again, one of those units I was messing with kind of like mid to late season. And I really enjoyed the games where I picked Cardinal. I don't know why I slept on Cardinal so long, but it's really good with Xerath. You get the HP lead. It kind of softens up everyone for the Xerath hit. So I ruined it. HP, crit damage, HP of course. Then like he has probably my best artifact. Max quad here, and then I have another really good one here. It's flat attack though, but that's okay. So yeah, I loved the games where I picked Cardinal. Cardinal's Wrath was really nice. Carlos. I tried picking this into Sonia a lot. Like you would do Vanessa, or if they picked Vanessa, Sonia, you could do Carlos. I was kind of realizing though that when people are picking Sonia with the water cooking thing, I think there are some games where the Sonia would just kill the Carlos without a crit. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I still think you could probably pick it. You should probably pick it. It makes sense though, right? I mean, this does like, I mean, I guess with the attack buff, speed buff, yeah, even if it glances, depends on how tanky your Carlos is, but it's yeah, it's a bit weird. But I did notice a lot of Sonias with the Adriana would try and snipe the Carlos out first. So yeah, just be wary of that. But Carlos was Vamp Will, kind of slow, but again, like the stats are pretty good. Skill 2 crit damage stuff, additional damage by attack. Yep, single target crit damage, additional damage, attack and speed. But yeah, it doesn't need to be super fast, I don't think, if you're using it as a counter pick, right? He'll just give himself a turn if they snipe something, so I thought that was okay to run it like this. Yeah, Bello. Didn't pick this too much. You know, if your opponent's picking a lot of fire water units, they don't have healing, pretty good bruiser to just slam in. Skill 3 recovery, minus wind. Although I don't think this should have probably been changed to something else, like maybe minus water if I was last picking it, right? Because I wouldn't pick this into wind units probably. But yeah, crit damage. Alicia, I picked this a lot into people that didn't run, like a stripper, a full team stripper, like Chiwu or more. They just ran stuff like Vanessa, Sekhmet, Ethna, something like that. Right, they're all going to be very fast, so the skill 2 is going to hit harder. And just kind of try and slow cleave them, basically. And then crit damage is less HP, additionals, and crit damage stuff. Damage dealt on fire. Yeah, Alicia was pretty good. Energy will enhance. I wish I could have gotten like a rage set on this, but I think all my rage hits were being used up, so this was the best I could do. But these are good runes. Like, this is a 34 CD speed. I have a quad crit right here. Just like really efficient runes, I'd say. Yeah, that's Alicia. Okay, Mephisto. Picked this a lot into the Bruisers, like probably more than half of the Bruiser matches I was going Mephisto, right? Because they always run stuff like Nana or the Beelzebub, stuff like that. So he's really good. Just full glass cannon, nuker build. Skill 2 crit damage, and then damage dealt on water and wind, because that's what you're picking it into usually, those two elements. But yeah, I would say one thing to note is that it moves after Zerath. I think the reason I did that is because if Zerath kills something, like even one unit, that will stack the passive and then make him do more, right? He does 20% more damage per enemy or ally that dies, so he's a good finisher. And he also has an HP lead for Zerath, so it's really good too. More, didn't really pick that much this season. He's unruined right now. Lucia, I just ruined this up late season. Kind of help, like if I was messing around with like Ragdoll, Lucia stuff. Help with the Oliver Chung-Pung stuff. Same with Masha, same reason. Just like this. Crit damage stuff, yeah, more crit damage stuff. And Lucia was on skill 1 recovery, minus fire. Unfortunately, I didn't really have any good energy or revenge runes for these 2 slots, so I'm just running energy. Monkey, Swift Will. I think I picked this into like Bruiser comps that were stacking fire, so I would do Shizuka Water Monkey combo. And you just want to run additionals, and then single target damage. But yeah, I didn't pick Monkey too often. I mean, most of the stuff down here I didn't pick too much this season. Rocky, just picked it for Julian, Beelzebub, Nana, Firecast. She was really good, kind of a forced ban almost, but skill 3 crit damage, skill 2 hack and additionals, and then damage dealt on light for Julian, damage dealt on fire for Cassandra. And then the Wind Dog. I picked into cleavers, mainly the maxi Neff stuff, because I'm running a damage dealt on dark. Same with Samath, right? Like you pick these two together and do dark LD cleaves, you can just kind of sit back and let them kill everything, really. So yeah, Fatal Blade. Kind of missing some crit right here, unfortunately, but it worked out most of the time. And then really important, if you're gonna run Ayunu, you gotta have attack bar when revived. It's like one of the most important artifacts I think you can give him. And then the light Robo. Again, I picked this into like Ragdoll, Abellio for the attack bar boost. But it's just a Swift Will, kind of slow. And again, crit damage, artifacts. Oops. Damage dealt on wind and water. Firecast. I didn't. The games I picked Firecast, I think I was just picking it wrong. I think I lost a lot of games when I tried her out. But she's a Nem double will right now. I think she was on a double Nem, you know, will like she usually is supposed to be on, but I just don't have. I'm just too lazy to rerun this. Like it never really worked for me, to be honest. But just kind of have one ruined up. Freia. I don't think I ever picked Freia this season. This is like another unit I'm just messing around with. I think she could be good into like very specifically more CP Nephthys Escher, like that four. Those four you're letting through, you could pick a Freia. And in that combo, it'd be like Escher boost, more skill 2 crit damage, or skill 2s into a CP, right? But then because of the passive, you don't get reset. Nothing on your team gets reset, and then when Nephthys goes, this should die, and then you get a full cleanse on the team. So as long as you have like 3 strong carries, you can definitely come back and win. But I haven't fought that comp yet. But yeah, that's the idea. Like Vamp Nem. First stacker damage, counterattack, single target, or single target. Yeah, like I just picked it into other Dragon Knights or single target snipe stuff where they don't have multi-hits. Pretty, you know, we all know. And of course, Lyco is really hard for me to deal with because I don't run a lot of water units in my core, and they're kind of like not multi-hit besides Charlotte nukers, so kind of a pain to deal with. But yeah, that's like a Teshar used a bit. It's one of my Nem traps. Crit damage stuff. Yeah, crit damage stuff. I picked it again into like more Wuntsas, sometimes Ethna, but if they know it's like a Nemesis Teshar, they'll just capture it. So I was kind of hard to draft this sometimes, especially into the Eschers. You can't really pick it because his skill 2 only removes one beneficial effect, so it's like a 50-50 on whether or not you remove the immunity or not. So, but yeah, it was I think it surprised a lot of people. I think it's worth keeping it ruined up still, but didn't pick it too much. I definitely picked Chiwu way more than Teshar. Wunsa just had one ruined up for people who didn't pick like any strippers. Didn't pick it too much though, to be honest. Diana didn't pick it too much. I mean, you could run it into like more Ethna water stuff, but yeah, just triple HP, max the crit rate out. I have a pretty nasty artifact here too. Too bad I don't use this very often, but yeah, damage dealt on wind, water. Hagang, kind of messed with it early season, but it doesn't really synergize with what I'm running, so it's unruined. Riley's unruined. I was messing around with like Ragdoll Riley stuff. I should rune this up. I think it's pretty good into more CP openers, stuff like that. And then I have a triple Nem Tableau. This is from like 3 seasons ago. It's still ruined up, but don't pick this too often. I usually just opt for the Chiwu instead. I think I did pick this into Wunsas a few times, and you know, it can work for that. But you know, oddly enough, a lot of people are running Wunsa like on low damage builds now, so you don't proc Nem. So I have to be careful about that. It's kind of a weird build, but yeah, people are catching on. Some of the stuff down here, I don't think I really used. Here's my Antares. Honestly, just don't pick Antares unless you have a Pinkroid runes. Every time I pick this thing, it's just like disappointment. But decent artifacts. A quad attack up effect. I don't know if this is good. Like you probably just run additional damage lines instead of that, but who knows. Smicer, this one was kind of recently built. There are games where I fought Smicer and it was super annoying. Right, like if it procs, like 2 units are silenced and you're taking a bomb, like he can control an entire team by himself and heal everything, so definitely want to keep one runed up. I'll probably just try and mess around with it a bit more. It's Vio with bomb. This is a really nice artifact for him, actually. Yeah. And then what do I have here? Another one, bomb damage and additional. So yeah, I definitely need to mess around with him a bit more. Tiana, I did use this decently often early and mid-season for Laura's. She was better against Laura's than Chiwoo's, I would say. Mainly because she can cleanse. Like if Laura skill 3s and then she gets the Vile proc into a skill 2 stun, right? The stun chance isn't, it's not like 100% activation rate. So if it misses Tiana, then you can just full cleanse the team still. So I thought Tiana was pretty useful for that. I did get a decent pool of wins using that against Laura's. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we can retire. I can retire this because Laura's getting nerfed, right? She's getting nerfed this patch, hopefully. But yeah, skill 2 crit damage on artifacts, and then damage dealt on elements. Yeah, high crit damage, high res. Oh, here's my second Lucian. This is the trap one that I picked into like Leo Ragdoll stuff, where I have like a Vanessa. So it's fat, but it has attack bar when revived and attack up effect. Yeah, on both artifacts. So basically what happens is if they let Vanessa and this Lucian through, and it, like a Leo kills this, right? It hits it and then it Vile procs and then hits it again. This will just come back and boost attack buff and bar, and it's just gonna move and probably kill the entire team. Had a few funny matches with it, so yeah, and I did a video on this, so if you haven't seen that, appreciate it if you'd check it out. Shimite, Swift Blade. If I needed like a last pick speed lead, it was there to use. It's okay. I really need to ask Rhino to see his, because his hits like a truck. But yeah, I'm doing additionals, and I actually have a quad here for attack. Didn't pick it too much, to be honest, but I just want to keep it ruined up. Then Elanor, didn't pick it too much, but I know how annoying it can be, so if you want to just go for a Luxac draft and do a turn 1 CC comp, you could just pick this. Didn't use it too much, but I know how good this can be. A Chroma, didn't pick it too much. Doesn't really synergize with my team. I think in order to pull off a Chroma, you got to be running like a full Bruiser team, which I don't want to do. Magnum for cleavers, decent amount of HP so it can survive a hit. Then yeah, crit damage, attack up effect, damage dealt on dark. I don't remember. Oh, you know, I think I was trying to room this up for like Nephthys, I don't know, Escher comps or something. Nephthys, Escher, Laura. So they boost him, and then you can snipe Nephthys out. I don't know if that actually works. It's just a theory I was messing around with. Patter, Shield Will. This is my newest Veronica counter. You go double shield Will, so that if Veronica doesn't hit immunity, he will boost himself and then cleanse the entire team and then put immunity up. So kind of funny when it works. Probably not that good though, you know. Half the time works every time sort of unit, but I don't know. I don't have any other use for Patter right now, so I thought it was kind of worth trying this out. Yeah, Shield Will. Alex, another of my anti-cleave units. Vampire Will. Crit damage stuff, and then minus wind. So you can tank like a Fat Lucian. But yeah, basically she... Idea is like, if they let this through, you can lose your entire team and have her be the last one alive, right? She's gonna reflect damage, and then you go for a transform, and then you basically just heal the full on a vamp set. And then, right, they have no healing, so you just stay in pony form for the rest of the game, and they just kill themselves. So it was really fun to pick that. Well, let's see. I think that's it. There are probably a few other units I was messing around with early and mid-season, but for the most part, yeah, it was this stuff up here. So overall, pretty fun season. I did like 1,000 games this time, so I was definitely having fun. It was a hard season. I mean, you can see that from my win rate, but you know, again, G3 is G3. So yeah, really looking forward to the next season. I hope they can nerf some of these LD annoying units like Laura, Hagang. I feel pretty good into Veronica's, but Veronica has like a 56% win rate in G3, so hopefully they hit that again. Yeah, Laura, Hagang, hoping to see that on the balance patch. Anyways, that is it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.